I have been an artist from my early 20s. I graduated from Kalis Art School in 1994. Abstraction is about searching for common threads that bind us as people. I always start with a tabula rasa, which is a blank surface, and the tabula rasa for me is the gypsum, which is white in nature. Gypsum is a crystal, and under the microscope it has a crystalline structure which refracts light beautifully. In basic fundamentals, the vertical is a signifier for the spiritual world, and the horizontal is the physical world. So we start with the physical and then aspire towards the spiritual. I empty my mind and I try to think of absolutely nothing, and then one feels a flow moving through one, and I try to somehow capture that. It's a form of meditation. Geometry is a universal language which is, I think, intuitively and intrinsically understood by everyone. Not everyone can articulate how they feel when they look at something that is symmetrical, whether it's a radial symmetry or a balanced symmetry. But if we start with the fundamental, which is a point, and take it from there, literally, it's a natural progression, and to try to come to an understanding of mathematics, which is prime, and starting with number one. And so we go. And out of that, geometry is born figurative work. So I think that geometry is certainly the cradle of all manifestation for image making. If you overlap two circles, you will find a triangle emerging. Continue and you will find a square emerging. And the sphere or the circle originates with a dot or a moment of singularity, and one thing leads to another. I like to allow for mistakes and the reworking of a painting until it feels right, which is a way surrendering to the unknown, and that is what motivates me. It's not what I do know, but what I don't know. Painting is very much intuitive. It has to feel right from inside, and if it doesn't, it's deeply unsatisfying. And I do work over paintings. I do destroy and create and destroy and create, which is again part of this endless cycle until one feels intuitively that it's right. I try to make things that are beautiful and truthful, and if they're not truthful and they're not beautiful, then they get reworked. There must be some mystery. Even though everything seems to be accounted for under the sun, there is always more, and it's about discovery and exploration. I go walking in forests and on mountains looking for color-bearing minerals, which I bring back to the studio and grind them up and go through the process of making my own oil paint. And being able to understand the root of color is fundamental, I think, to understanding color. The oil paint I use also refracts light in a way that when it strikes the retina, it vibrates in the most extraordinary way. There is consistency, but there's also great variability because there are subtleties and nuances. Nothing is entirely pure unless one is working in a laboratory and synthesizing. But when one harvests from nature, there's always an element of chance and chaos and randomness. I always let people know who do buy my work that there is an element of surprise and chance, and that the work will continue to transform or continue on its journey independent of my hand. At best, I hope for that a person looking at one of the paintings I have done is that there is a resonance that is not specific to me but to them, that on a deep and profound level that they have an understanding. think what's the great binder is that working with geometrical shapes, one realizes that everything is interconnected and there is a starting point and there is no end. We're all connected vibrationally, and I think that interconnectivity is what holds us all together as one.